The 10 o'clock news starts right now with a breaking news alert.
Breaking developments in the case of this Jacksonville police officer accused of beating up a handcuffed teen. Charges have been dropped against Officer Timothy James. He will avoid jail because of a plea deal.
According to the agreement, Officer James will resign from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office effective Thursday. He has also agreed he won't be a police officer in Duval, Clay, or Nassau counties for 3 years. Officer James must complete 50 hours of community service, complete an anger management program, and pay $170 in fines. News 4 Jax reporter Eric Avanier spoke with a teenager Officer James beat, Elias Campos. And Eric, what does Campos think of the charges being dropped?
Well, I can tell you right now that Campos he just can't believe it. In fact, just moments ago, I spoke to his attorney, John Phillips, and he was very upset about the outcome of this case because of that plea agreement. I want you to listen to what he just told me.
We're upset. It's an unjust result, and it allows and kind of justifies bad cops' ability to get away with bad decisions.
Let me ask you, if Mr. James was not a cop, do you think this kind of deal would have played out?
If Mr. James was not a cop, he would clearly be facing severe penalties, aggravated battery, and probably do jail time.
Again, I reached out to Elias Campos, who now lives in Tampa. He didn't want to do a recorded interview over the phone, but tells me he just could not believe the outcome of this case. It was in the early morning of June 10th, 2017, when surveillance video captures JSO officer Timothy James beat up a handcuffed person in the back seat of his police cruiser. That suspect was Elias Campos, then 17 years old. James claims Campos spat on him while he was taking him into custody, and that's why he punched him. These were the facial injuries as the result of the interaction with Officer James. Campos explained his side of the story in this video-recorded police interview.
He just severely fist-fighting me right there, and I'm like this. Get off. He severely beating me up, and I'm trying to kick it. Oh, you want to kick? You want to kick?
Campos' 18-year-old brother was also in the car at the time of the beating. The state attorney's office said statement that there was a strong chance that a jury wouldn't have convicted James. Now, this just in, I got a statement from Tim James's attorney, Phil Vogelstein. I'm going to just read this off my phone here. It says the criminal justice system has worked as intended, and we wish Tim James well in the future. Now, I want to also point out that as part of that agreement, James cannot get into any legal trouble over the next 3 years. If he does so, prosecutors can basically refile those charges against him. Reporting live, Eric Avanier, Channel 4, the local station.
Eric, does the agreement keep James from applying for a law enforcement job outside this judicial circuit?
Actually, no, it doesn't, because here's the deal. If he wants to apply for a job as a police officer or a deputy in another place, say like a Miami or a Tampa or even out of the state, there is nothing in that agreement that keeps him from doing that. It's just that he cannot do it within this judicial circuit, which I believe it comprises of Duval, Nassau, and Clay County.
All right, Eric Avanier reporting to us live. Thank you, Eric.
Now, according to James' personnel history with JSO, which began in January 2014, he received 4 written reprimands for complaints lodged against him by fellow officers. He was suspended twice in those cases. James is also at fault in 2 traffic incidents, crashes in his patrol car. And those crashes do not include a May incident in which James hit and killed a pedestrian on University Boulevard. JSO said James was responding to a robbery when he fatally struck a 62-year-old man who was crossing the street. All right, you can read more about Officer James' history as well as his resignation letter on News